You don't quit by stopping, because then what do? Let's start with alcoholism. Well, why do people drink? Well, if you like alcohol, that's a stupid question. Like, I really liked alcohol. It was pretty bloody obvious why I drank. Why? Well, it made my social relationships feel closer. It woke me up. It quelled my anxiety, and it knocked out the part of my mind that was concerned with future consequences. So it was like impulsivity. So like, you don't need an explanation for that. And some people are particularly susceptible to that alcohol effect. So how do people quit drinking? Well, no treatment centers work, but people do quit. What happens when you decide you're going to do something other than drink? Okay. You got to get rid of all your friends, because all your friends are drunks, right? You got to get rid of probably a fair chunk of your family. All of your social habits are wrong, every single one of them. Everything you do that isn't work, that's alcohol related, that's your life, all that has to be replaced. You need a replacement. So I would say to young men who are listening to this podcast, for example, if you want to stop engaging in a self-destructive, impulsive, and juvenile habit, whatever it is, make a plan. So you're ashamed of yourself. For some reason, that's why your conscience is calling at you. You know you're taking the easy way out.
Sometimes you don't necessarily want to go through that struggle. Sometimes you don't want to go through that pain. Sometimes you don't want to go through that disappointment. Sometimes you just don't want to go through it. And what discipline does is discipline says, keep your eye on the prize. Discipline says that the prize is more important than the pain. Not too long ago, he probably 22, 23 years old, and he was just like, I lost this and I lost that, my mom, and, then he lost his grandma, then he got kicked out of school. He was just going through the rent like, I went through all this, what should I do? I said, you should keep going.
They don't tell you this part about addiction. That one day, you'll wake up surrounded by silence so loud it hurts. You'll check your phone, no missed calls, no messages, just emptiness. The people you once laughed with, cried with, partied with, they've moved on. And you? You're stuck, watching the same four walls, telling yourself, just one more time. But that one more turned into months, years.
Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, yeah, it's great. We're up to date. But your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death. Real life, you can't Google that, man. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. When I was 297 pounds and I was fat as hell trying to be a Navy SEAL, the scariest thing in the world to me, even to this day, was that could have been the rest of my life. I thought then I was trying hard. That's the scariest thing in the world. I thought then, 297 pound, working for Ecolab, spraying for cockroaches, making $1,000 a month. I thought that was me at my 100% potential. Come to find out, a few years later, I wasn't anywhere near that. 106 pounds less, graduated Navy SEAL training, went on to do all these other things. Looking back on that was me trying hard. That's why people gotta understand what is in us. We have no idea until we start trying hard. And I mean really trying hard, where you're obsessed with, hey, this is my new norm. My new norm is that, wow, this isn't always fun. It's not always meant to be fun. And that's when you know you're trying hard.